What does the acronym SPD stand for? And we did mention it a little bit earlier on in the
Yeah, we did.
conversation.
Yeah, so we've done a workshop on this, which is worth looking at. It's sensory processing disorder. That's a nice simple answer. Sensory processing disorder, shall I say?
You can do.
So, the autistic spectrum covers, and I'm going to kind of try and make this pretty for you with my hands, make it nice and visual. Communication, social emotional understanding, lack of flexible thinking, rigid thought. Sensory. Sensory is sensory differences, and the sensory underpins everything. You cannot do anything until you've got the sensory right. If you're bothered by a smell, a noise, bright lights, whatever it may be, you're not going to achieve anything else. The phrase I love is "shut up, I'm trying to think." Shut up, I'm trying to think is basically sensory. Sensory, so you have to consider the sensory. I have moved entire classrooms in schools for one child who has sensory needs, more than once. We go, that child cannot cope in that classroom next to the dining hall because from 11 o'clock every morning, overwhelming smell of food cooking. He can't deal with it, she can't deal with it. Yesterday, I was doing a workshop and I had to turn the lights off because it was that beautiful spring day. It got really sunny in the afternoon and it was just too much for some people. You could just see it. Sensory, really, really important. Sensory as to visual stress, things like that, not being able to deal with black print on white paper and having to put interventions in place for that. All these things are sensory and they all have to be dealt with first.
As we mentioned in our sensory quizzes that everything starts sensory.
Everything, yeah.
The amount of times I've said to parents, I'm talking to them either on the phone or in a one-to-one situation, and certainly with yourself, is Andrew, I can't talk to you, I need a toilet, I can't hear a thing you're saying. Because I've got to go to the toilet because nothing else is there. And we have problems with people, children that can't eat, and they're very picky and things like that, and it's why aren't eating this. And we sometimes overlook that sometimes the reason they're not eating is because of the sensory stimulation that it gives them. One of the things I heard this morning, I was listening to something that I hadn't really considered, is when they're putting something that's hard or crunchy in their mouth, it's not the actual object that's given, it's the noise in the mouth that gets into the head. It's too noisy to eat that food. So they need soft food rather than hard food or crunchy food. And it's that part of understanding sensory that can make all the difference. And so we need to sort out sensory first and foremost, without a doubt.
100%. First place you go is sensory. Just interesting, just a couple of little examples of some sensory stuff that I've seen that is real, okay? And then one of them is, I worked with a child who had to take his shoes and socks off to eat. And the school were like, how do we stop him doing that? And my question is, why? Why would you stop him? Do you know what I mean? It's just really just not a big deal, is it? It's just not a big deal. And also, the other one is, I have a child who only eats X, Y, or Z. Question is, are they eating? Yes. That's half the problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's half the problem. If they are eating, and that's important, And so sensory, it is absolutely everything. It is absolutely everything. And when it's presented, the autistic spectrum, if you imagine a triangle, social, emotional, rigid thinking, communication, in the middle, they always represent, and I certainly do, sensory in the middle. I often tag it with anxiety as well.
Yeah.
Anxiety and sensory are the two major things. Put people in a comfort zone and both from an anxiety point of view and from a sensory point of view.